Wayne Gretzky, and Conner Mcdavid. Two Oilers legends, even though McDavid's only in his second year. Two names synonymous with the Oilers, and one synonymous with past success and one synonymous with future success. Now, Crosby is almost unanimously regarded as the best hockey player in the NHL's history, but I'm here to tell you, Conner McDavid may be better, and I think he is. So I'm going to use statistical evidence to prove this. Now, my disclaimer is, this is just my opinion. You don't have to take it for your opinion. It's not factual. I just want you to listen to evidence and form your own opinion. So in Wayne Gretzky's rookie year, he put in 51 goals and 86 assists for 137 points, and that was tied with the league for Marcel Dion. That year, his team scored 301 goals, and the average goal per game in the National Hockey League was 3.55. Out of the 301 goals that his team scored, Gretzky had a point on 45.5% of them. And his adjusted point total for the 2016 season, McDavid's rookie year, would have been 105 points. That year, the Oilers had 8th in total goals in the National Hockey League. Now, we will look over at McDavid's rookie year. That year, his season was shortened due to a broken collarbone and only played in 45 games. However, he still had 16 goals and 32 assists for a total of 48 points. His adjusted goal total, as if he played in the whole season, was 29 goals and 58 assists for a grand total of 87 points. That year, the Oilers scored 204 goals, and the average goal per game for a team in the National Hockey League was 2.71. If McDavid would have played in every game, he would have scored on 42% of their goals. He would have had a point on. And that one's a rough statistic because who knows how many goals they would have scored, but that's the number I came up with. If his point total was adjusted for Gretzky's rookie season, he would have put in 113, and that year the Oilers were 25th in total goals, as mostly due because of his absence. Now, in Gretzky's second year, he had a big increase. He had 55 goals, so only 4 more goals, but 109 assists, and 164 points, so 27 more points. And in no coincidence, the Oilers scored 27 more goals and put in 328 as a team that year. In that season, Gretzky had a point on 50% of the goals his team scored, which is astounding. And his adjusted point total for the 2017 season, McDavid's second year, was 118. That year, the average goals per game for a team in the National Hockey League was 3.84. And the Oilers were 7th in scoring in terms of total goals in the National Hockey League. That 3.84 goals per game is 1.07 goals more than the teams in 2017 scored, as they were goals per game total for a team in 2017 was 2.77. And everyone knows how great McDavid was in his second year. He put in 30 goals, he had 70 assists, and he put in 100 points. This year, the Oilers scored 247 team goals, and McDavid had a point on 41% of them. Now, to put this stat in perspective, McDavid's counterpart, Sidney Crosby, they're considered the 2 best players in the game right now, minus Erik Karlsson, I guess. But Sidney Crosby only had a point on 31.6% of his team's goals, and that's a whole 10 percentage points lower than McDavid was. That shows how valuable McDavid was to his team. McDavid's adjusted point total for the 1981 season, Gretzky's second year, would have been 139. So that is a total of 25 points less than Gretzky scored. The Oilers came in 8th in total goals that year, 1 place lower than the Oilers of 1981. So now we're going to take a look at why the point totals are a little bit off. You might be saying, Gretzky's stats compare better. But this is why I think McDavid's truly better. In Gretzky's rookie year, he shot 18%. So out of all the shots Gretzky took, 18% of them went in. In McDavid's rookie year, it's not that big of a difference. Out of all the shots he took, 15% of them went in. But we're at a smaller sample size. McDavid played half the games Gretzky did in his rookie year. And you're going to show how it affects over an 82-game season. Now, Gretzky's shooting percentage in his second year went up 3.1 points. So he shot 21.1% of the shots he took went in the net. Now, in McDavid's second year, only 12% of his shots went in. So that's a whole 9.1% better for Gretzky than it was for McDavid. And my theory is that the goalies' pads and styles were just so much worse back in the day when Gretzky was playing than McDavid is. If you take a look at the goalie pads, I'm going to show right here, 1980. Now this is 2017. Now look at the differences. The goalie's butterfly in 2017, 1980 stand up. 1980, they're not all mechanics aren't universal. 2017, my bad, is universal mechanics practically for everyone. Only a few hybrid goalies remain. This lack of uniformity was able to allow Gretzky to show his skills more, and McDavid's obviously capable of that type of skill, as we've seen in some of his highlight reel goals. They're very, very insane and I think he'd be able to do more of that with the lack of uniformity and goaltending styles and the stand-up style that he played in the early 80s. So in between Gretzky's first and second season, his point increase was 19.7%. Adjusted for McDavid's missing time and this rookie season to his sophomore season, his point increase was 14.9%. Now everyone knows in Gretzky's third year, he put up the 212 points and just blew away the National Hockey League. And the increase between year 2 and 3 in point production for Gretzky was 29.3%. So he scored 29% more points in year 3 than he did in year 2. So based on the 14% in correlation in Gretzky, we should see a 22.1% increase in points for McDavid this year. And that means he put in 122 points. If McDavid put in 122 points this year, I think the hockey world would just drop its jaw. But I don't know how likely that is to follow the correlation of Gretzky. So the one thing that I think could actually make a lot of people convinced that McDavid might be better than Gretzky is if he brought a whole boatload of Stanley Cups to the Oilers. Now, Gretzky did not win his first Stanley Cup in Edmonton until his 5th season. Well, that's because his first 4 years, the Islanders dynasty was going on, and he was constantly getting eliminated by them. His first year, he got eliminated in the first round. His second year, he got eliminated in the second round. Now, McDavid's first year, due to the fact he missed a ton of time, he did not even qualify for the playoffs. But last year, he took the Anaheim Ducks to 7 games. They got robbed in that game 5, and it could have easily went to the conference finals. So, for say, McDavid wins 5 cups in 7 years with the Oilers, and then maybe he wins a couple more as a veteran or some other team, or maybe 2 more later in his career, and he wins 7 cups in his career. And he keeps on the correlation pattern towards statistically being at least somewhat comparable towards Gretzky, even though his points might be lower, that the times are changing. Or maybe goal scoring increases and McDavid's able to showcase his true goal scoring potential as it would have been in the 80s. Then I think many people will craft the argument that McDavid is better than Gretzky, but for now, that's just an asinine prediction or statement made by the very few. But leave down in the comments below if you agree with me, if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm an idiot, if you think my theory needs a little bit of work. Just leave down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you later.